Who is the first scientist? Yes, Priyadarshini, who is the first scientist to classify the elements?
Doberiner.
Dobereiner, right? How did he classify? As
Triads.
triads. Three elements, right? Based upon the mathematical equation, he tried to keep the elements together, which was not accepted. Who is the second scientist? Neo, who is the yes, Neo, who is the second scientist? Where is Neo? Yes, Neo, who is the second scientist who classified the elements?
Mosley? No, Mendeleev.
Newland.
Newland, yes. Very good. Newland. You forgot I told you that musical notes.
Octaves.
Newland,
Musical notes.
octaves, right? So 8 elements together, they will be having similar properties.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
Ma'am, the octave rule was accepted or not?
No, it's not accepted, but it gave the basis for the Mendeleev periodic table. It's not accepted. Okay, so he told 8 elements. When we arrange the elements horizontally in the increasing order of their atomic mass, the first and the 8th element will be having similar properties. As of the first and the 8th note, 8th musical note will be same in the same way. Right? Who is the next scientist?
Mendeleev.
Right? Yes, Mendeleev is also called as
Father of
periodic law.
very good. Father of periodic table
Periodic
or
table.
periodic law, we can say. Right? He gave the basic periodic table. Right? So how did he arrange the elements? What is Mendeleev periodic law?
Tabular form.
Ma'am, he arranged in a periodic table and where some
Tabular form.
Yes, he arranged in a proper tabular form in which elements are arranged. First thing, they are arranged horizontally. Second, they are arranged horizontally in the increasing order of their
Increasing order of
mass.
their atomic mass.
Okay, so when he arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic mass horizontally, he found that elements with similar properties are repeating after regular intervals. You may get the doubt, how did they know that these are the elements with similar properties? But when an element is discovered, when the element was discovered, or that time no artificial element was invented, whenever the element was discovered, first thing they have to give all the properties of that element, the physical and chemical properties. Okay, so based upon the practical thing, the experimental evidences of the properties of elements, they have he has arranged the elements so that the elements with similar properties are repeating after regular interval. After certain period, the elements with similar properties are repeating. So he gave a law, a periodic law stating that the physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic mass. Right? So the elements with similar properties will repeat after regular intervals. Then next, scientist Moseley. So as we have discussed, there are some merits and demerits in Mendeleev periodic table. What are the merits? He kept some empty spaces between the elements. So in the periodic table, he left some empty spaces, giving the scope for the discovery of new elements. What is a major demerit of Mendeleev periodic table? He could not give the exact position of hydrogen.
isotopes.
Yes, and he was unable to give the position of isotopes. Next, coming to the modern periodic table, it is exactly like Mendeleev periodic table, but it is just modified. Okay, so what Mendeleev told, the properties depend upon atomic mass, whereas Moseley has just modified that periodic law, stating that the properties are periodic functions of their atomic numbers. Whereas Mendeleev told atomic mass, Moseley told it is not atomic mass, but it is atomic numbers. Children, what is atomic number? What is atomic number? The number of protons or number of electrons, right?
Neutron.
So he told that the properties of elements is due to the involvement of electrons and protons. So due to the involvement of electrons and protons, the properties will differ. How do they differ? We'll discuss in detail in this chapter later. So he told that the properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic numbers. What does it mean? So when we arrange the elements in the increasing order of their atomic numbers. So Mendeleev told we have to arrange them in the increasing order of their atomic mass. But Moseley modified the statement that if we arrange the elements horizontally in the increasing order of their atomic numbers, then the elements with similar properties will repeat after regular interval. Got it? So all of you write down modern periodic table or modern periodic law. Please write down, children. Modern periodic law. The physical and chemical properties of elements. The physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic numbers. The physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic numbers.
Chemical.
Please repeat.
The physical and chemical properties of elements are periodic functions of their atomic numbers. That is, when elements are arranged horizontally, in the increasing order of their atomic numbers, the elements with similar properties, when elements are arranged horizontally in the increasing order of their atomic numbers, comma, the elements with similar properties repeat after regular interval.
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Okay. The elements with similar properties will repeat after regular intervals.
Can you please repeat after the increasing order of their?
I repeat, that is when the elements are arranged horizontally in the increasing order of their atomic numbers, comma, the elements with similar properties repeat after regular intervals. The elements with similar properties repeat after regular intervals. Right? Now, why do they repeat after regular intervals? What is the reason for that? We will discuss here. So he told that all the elements, if we arrange, see, this is the modern periodic table. So if you observe here, see, he started arranging the elements horizontally. See, the first hydrogen, second is atomic number helium, third one, see, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. And when he observed, sodium is having similar properties with that of the lithium. So he kept below lithium. He arranged sodium below lithium. So if you observe here, the atomic number is increasing by 1. As we move from left to right of the periodic table, the atomic number is increasing by 1. Okay. Now, why did he arrange the elements like this? That means one below the other. So you have to understand that if you observe the entire periodic table, there are Some horizontal rows are there. How many horizontal rows are there here? See the main form, the first tabular form. How many horizontal rows are there? How many horizontal rows are there? 7 horizontal rows are there. 7, right. 7 horizontal rows are there. And how many vertical columns are there?
18.
18 vertical columns are there. Okay. So after arranging all the elements, it has been found that there are 7 horizontal rows and 18 vertical columns. Yes, Abhigyan?
Do we
Yes,
have
Abhigyan.
to, ma'am, do we have to learn,
It went by mistake.
Okay.
ma'am, do we have to learn the node elements, halogens, alkaline?
Yes, yes, that we'll discuss. We have to learn their properties. Okay. So what are these horizontal rows called as? These horizontal rows are called as periods. Okay, that means why? See, after this after one horizontal period, as we have discussed in the definition, after certain regular intervals, after certain period, the elements with similar properties are repeating. So children, try to understand. See, there is one period like this. Let us say first period is there. So after helium, again, there is one more period in which the element with similar properties are repeating again. So there are 7 horizontal rows. Those 7 horizontal rows are called as periods. Okay. Now, and there are 18 vertical columns. Those vertical columns are called as groups. So please note down 7 horizontal rows called as periods and 18 vertical columns called as groups. 7. So what does modern periodic table contains? It contains 7 horizontal rows called as periods and 18 vertical columns called as groups.
Groups.
Okay. Now,
Could you repeat?
7 horizontal rows called as periods and 18 vertical columns called as groups. So how many groups are there in periodic table?
18.
18 groups. So write down, put a star mark and write down all the elements in a particular group. All the elements in a particular group will have similar properties. All the elements in a particular group will have similar properties. All the elements in a particular group will have similar properties. So now children, try to understand. For example, if we take the first group, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. If we learn the property of lithium, so based upon the property of lithium, we can understand all the properties of sodium, potassium, rubidium and cesium also. That means, as we have discussed, the study of each and every element will be very difficult. Studying all the properties of 118 elements separately will be very difficult, right? So all these first group elements, if we study the properties together, the same properties will be applied for all these elements. So now, do you agree that just if we learn 18 different types of properties, we can learn, that means we are clear with all the properties of elements? Are you able to follow? So for example,
ma'am.
if I take noble gases, the last group elements, if I just learn the property of helium, all the properties I can understand. If I just learn the property of any one element, suppose chlorine, if I learn the property of chlorine, with the example of property of chlorine, I can explain the properties of fluorine, bromine, iodine as well, acetylene as well. So all the elements in one particular group will be having similar properties. Therefore, the study of elements will be easy. Children, did you got this one? Did you get this? Right?
Yes,
Now, yes. Now, what about period? Why the period has stopped here? After noble gases, why the period has stopped? Why the second period has stopped after neon? Okay, the reason is that if you observe, I believe you all are thorough with the atomic numbers and electronic configurations, right? Now, atomic number of lithium is 3. What is the electronic configuration? 2, 1. Right?
2, 1.
If the electronic configuration is 2, 1, what does it mean? How many shells are there around the nucleus?
2.
1. Yeah.
Did you understand? How many
Yes.
shells are there around nucleus?
2.
2 shells are there. Now beryllium. Beryllium atomic number is 4. Electronic configuration will be
2, 2.
2, 2. So how many shells are there around nucleus in beryllium?
2.
2.
In boron?
3.
2, 3. Carbon?
4.
Nitrogen?
2. 5.
5.
Oxygen?
2, 6.
6.
2, 6.
Then fluorine?
2,
7.
7.
And neon?
2.
2, 8.
2, 8. Right? So 2, 8. So after writing 2, 8, that means the second shell is completely filled. Are you getting my point? The second orbit, the second shell has been completely filled. What is the maximum number of electrons in second shell?
8.
8.
8.
8 electrons. That means 2, 8. Neon configuration is 2, 8. That means all the 8 electrons, the second shell has been completely filled. Can any other electron fit in second shell? No. Now come to sodium. Sodium atomic number is 11. What is
281.
electronic configuration?
281.
281. So do you agree that in sodium, the third shell, the third orbit started filling there? The third orbit started filling with electrons. In sodium 281, third orbit has 1 electron. Magnesium, what is electronic configuration?
282.
282. Okay. Now coming to,
282.
yes. Now coming to argon. Coming to argon. 288.
288.
That means the third shell, the stability of third shell has been attained. Potassium, what is electronic configuration of potassium?
2881.
2881. So the last electron is entering into which shell? Which orbit?
Third or
Valence.
4th.
Fourth orbit. See children, if the electronic configuration is 2881, that means 4 shells are there around orbit, around the nucleus. I repeat, 4 shells or 4 orbits are there around the nucleus. Are you able to understand? Okay. Now calcium. Calcium, what is the atomic number? 20. Electronic configuration?
282.
882. Right? So as a whole, we can understand that each period is nothing but each shell is being filled. The last electron, if it enters into second shell, if the last electron enters into second shell or second orbit, that element, that particular element will be present in the second period. Are you able to understand or not the concept? I repeat, if the last electron in an element is entering into second shell or second orbit, then the element is placed in the second period of the periodic table. if the last electron is entering into third shell, then element is placed in the third period of periodic table. Did you understand, children? So all the elements in one particular period, I repeat, all the elements in one particular period, what does it mean? They are having those many number of shells around the nucleus. That means all the elements in second period, they are having 2 shells around the nucleus and the electrons are filled in that. All the elements in third period, sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon, all these elements has 3 shells around the nucleus and the third shell is filled. That means the valence electron is entering into third shell. Did you understand this concept?
Study.
Got it, children? Did you get this?
Yes, ma'am.
How many of you did not understand?
Did not understand.
Okay, see. We have just discussed all the elements in particular group will be having similar properties. Now coming to period, all the elements in one particular period, in any particular period, let us take the second period. All the elements in the second period, they will be having 2 orbits or 2 shells around the nucleus. And all the elements of third period, they will be having 3 shells around the nucleus. See, what is the electronic configuration of silicon? Silicon atomic number is 14. What is atomic configuration of silicon?
284.
284.
284. 284 means how many shells are there?
3.
3 shells. Therefore, silicon is placed in third period of the periodic table. Did you get this?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, nitrogen. What is electronic configuration of nitrogen? Atomic number 7.
25.
25. That
25.
means how many shells are there around nucleus?
2.
2.
2 shells. Therefore, nitrogen is placed in second period of the periodic table. Helium. What is electronic configuration of helium with atomic number 2?
1 shell. 2.
Electronic configuration of helium is 2.
2.
That means how many shells are there? Only 1 shell is there. Even in hydrogen also, atomic number is 1. Electronic configuration is 1. That means only 1 shell is there around the nucleus. That is the reason hydrogen and helium are placed in the first period. So, we can summarize that each period, it represents that the elements in that particular period will be having that many shells around the nucleus. Those many shells around the nucleus. All the elements in fourth period, what does it mean? They will be having 4 shells around the nucleus. All the elements in fifth period, they will be having 5 shells around the nucleus. That means fifth shell will be valence shell. Did you get this? Children, did you get this point?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Girija, did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Pranjal.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Samiksha, did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Feeling difficult?
Ma'am, do we have to rejoin after this class?
No need to rejoin. It's only 40 minutes class. Ma'am told clearly to take only 40 minutes class. Okay.
Okay.
So, how can we describe period? Tell me. Now tell me, how can we describe a period?
Number of energy levels of an atom of an element.
Ma'am.
Yes, number of energy levels. Yes, even more little bit clear.
The number of orbits.
Yes, we can say in each period. Now I'll tell you one statement. In each period, as we move from left to right, take for example second period, lithium to neon. As we move from left to right, in one particular period, that particular energy level is filling. That particular shell, the filling of electrons
Ma'am,
in
we have
that
to write-
particular shell is happening. No need to write, just understand. So as we move from left to right in the second period, what is happening? The number of electrons in the second shell, the valence shell is second shell, and number of electrons are increasing by 1. That means there is the filling of electrons in that particular shell. Did you get this point? Right? There is a gradual filling of the shell. Once the shell or orbit is completely filled, then the next period will start.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Taushik.
Ma'am, OG is which noble gas? RN is radon, krypton. OG means
OG, it is the artificial invented one. Generally, in
because
Oregon.
Oregon, generally we won't use these names for these elements. Did you remember in 8th standard we have discussed? I don't know about
yes, ma'am.
8B students, 8th students. Did you remember we have discussed how to name the elements?
Yes, ma'am.
We had a fun in the class also. 111. We have to use a suffix ium. For 1 we will use un. For 0 we will use nil. Did you remember that?
Yes.
Did you remember writing the names of the elements?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Yes. So generally the elements after 100 they are named based upon the IUPAC nomenclature. For 1 we will use un. For 0 we will use nil, nil. For 2 we will use bi. For 3 we will use tri. And the suffix will be ium. For example, 112, the element with atomic number 112, the name will be un by em. For 1 we will use un. For one more 1 we will use un. And for 2 it is by. The suffix will be ium. That you learn your 8th standard. Okay, leave it. Yes, Aditya, did you remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, so write down.
Ma'am, I'm confused.
For what?
Ma'am, that
That naming you learn in your 8th standard. Naming of elements. in
And some
atomic
background,
structure.
ma'am, some background music is coming.
Background music is coming. Okay. Okay, so write down all the elements in a particular period. All the elements in a particular period will have same number of shells around the nucleus. All the elements in a particular period will be having, all the elements in a particular period will have same number of shells around the nucleus. Same number of shells around the nucleus. Is it clear, children? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now coming to group, we have discussed that all the elements in one particular group will be having similar properties, right? What is the reason for that? I repeat, all the elements in one particular group, in any particular group, will be having similar properties. What is the reason for that?
Ma'am, they have same number of valence electrons. They have same number of valence electrons.
Very good. I thought I'll give this as a homework, but you are very fast. Very good. See, if you observe the lithium, what is lithium electronic configuration?
1.
2, 1. What is electronic configuration of sodium?
281.
281.
Electronic configuration of potassium, atomic number 19,
881.
881.
right? Now, coming to halogens. What is the electronic configuration of fluorine?
27.
27.
Electronic configuration of chlorine,
287.
287.
right? So all the elements in one particular group will be having same number of valence electrons. If you observe the last electron, the number of valence electrons will be same. So if the number of valence electrons are same, then the properties will be similar. Did you now remember the chemical bonding and atomic structure? We have discussed the valence electrons. If they are 8, then it will be stable, right? The chemical activity of an element is due to its valence electrons. So if the valence electrons are same, if the number of valence electrons are same, then the properties also will be same. So write down. You wrote the definition, you wrote the statement that all the elements in a particular group will be having similar properties. There you write down. Reason for that is all the elements in a particular group will have same number of valence electrons. All the elements in a particular group will have same number of valence electrons. Therefore, similar properties. Therefore, similar properties. All the elements in a particular group will have same number of valence electrons. Therefore, they will have similar properties. Right?
Yes,
So
Shiraj,
can
mute
you
yourself.
Okay.
now? Okay, now can you? Do you agree that the properties of elements depend upon the valence electrons? The property of an element depends upon number of valence electrons, right? Or we can say the property of element depends upon the electronic configuration. So more clearly you can understand that the property of an atom depends upon the number of valence electrons. Clear? If two elements are having same number of valence electrons, then the properties will be same. Clear, children? Did you understand the concept of groups and periods?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we'll study each and every group elements in the next class. Hope you all understood this class.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay then. We'll discuss
Thank
the
you, ma'am.
groups in the next class.
Thank
Okay,
you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Goodbye.
Bye.
Yes, ma'am. Goodbye.